Hi everyone, thanks for listening in on Repentance, good or bad. Almost every one of us has done something wrong, even if we didn't realize it at first. But over time, we knew that something had to be done about it. In this podcast, we have interviewed a teacher, a college student, and a grade school student about the effects of their repentance. So the person I'm about to interview is Savannah Vogel, who is a current 8th grader at St. Al's on the Ohio. So Savannah, my first question for you is, has there ever been a time in your life where you've done something wrong and had to make up for it?
Yes, I was caught with forgery. It was during the first quarter of my 7th grade year, and my midterm grades had been sent home with my Friday folder. Well, my science grade wasn't anywhere near where it should have been, and I didn't want my mom to see it. So when I didn't show my mom, I decided that I was going to sign her name to it. And my mom ended up finding out about it when she asked me to go talk to my teachers about it, and I didn't. So she decided that she was going to go talk to my teachers, and that's how she found out about my interim.
What has this situation taught you?
This has taught me that you should show your parents everything, that you shouldn't just keep it a secret, because when you do, you can end up getting into a lot of trouble, and if you try telling someone something, they can end up helping you. Everyone has problems.
What happened to you after you got caught?
When I got caught, I ended up getting 5 conduct points, which led to a detention after school on a Thursday, and that lasted for an hour.
Overall, how did you feel about the situation at hand?
I felt really bad about it. I felt embarrassed. I felt stupid for doing it. I felt really guilty about it. It made me sad.
How did your parents react?
My parents were really upset when I didn't show them my interim, and they told me that I should have just came to them in the first place so that they could end up trying to help me and help me with different study skills for it.
The next person I'm going to interview is Mrs. Struthers, and she is an English teacher at Seton High School. Has there ever been a time in your life where you've done something wrong and had to make up for it?
There sure has been a time in my life when I did something wrong and had to make up for it. I was in high school. We were in home ec class, and at St. Patrick's Day we were having a big celebration. And it was my job to bring in the ice cream, and I was supposed to, of course, bring in green sherbet. I went to United Dairy Farmers on the corner of Delhi and Greenwell, and they were out of green sherbet. So I thought, she wants sherbet, I'll get orange sherbet. Well, when I came to school, you would have thought that I had committed a mortal sin. That nun was so upset with me that I had brought in orange sherbet on St. Patrick's Day. Evidently, orange is a German color, which I didn't realize at the time. And I really didn't understand what was the big deal, but boy, did she make a big deal of it.
Is that all she remembers you for?
In fact, I have run into her several times throughout my life, and she still remembers that and makes a big deal of it.
How has this affected your life today?
Obviously, it has affected my life today because I think about it periodically, and I really do try to be Irish on St. Patrick's Day, and I try to be sensitive to the cultures of other people because evidently I really stepped on her cultural toes.
Do you recall doing anything to make up for your switch-up?
I really didn't do anything to make up for the problem that I caused, the switch up, but I can remember saying sorry multiple times.
So the last person we are interviewing is Alex Anderson, and he is a college student. Has there ever been a time in your life when you've done something bad and had to make up for it?
Yeah, I can actually think of quite a few occasions where I had that instance happen, but there's one that stands out particularly. Probably the time that I fought with my brother, my younger brother, Nick. Probably shouldn't have let him get to me, but I did, and I kind of blew up on him. We ended up really getting into a really big fight where I ended up almost choking him to the point where he passed out. The way I kind of made up for that is I apologized to him as, should be, and then I kind of sort of took him out for Chipotle later because that's his favorite food. That's probably one time that I can think of that I repented for something and it made me feel a bit better.
How has this affected your life today?
It's definitely affected my life today because it's helped me and my brother get along in our relationship, as me being the older brother and him being the younger brother a lot better than if we would have just been continuing to fight and not make up for it.
Did repentance help ease your conscience?
It has definitely helped me ease my conscience, just because no one likes to have guilt on their mind, including me, and getting it out of my head and getting my brother to forgive me made me feel a lot better.
In these circumstances that were in the interviews, repentance can help even though the guilty feeling eats away at hours of conscience. Repentance can always be a cure for our guilty feelings, even though sometimes they're not always that serious. Repentance can be the end of our guilty thoughts, even if we didn't believe it was possible.